yes, it is me, your friendly neighborhood stationery addict. And if you've followed my work for a while, or if you've been on my Instagram after watching the first couple of videos, you probably know this. But if you don't, I hope it doesn't come as too much of a shock that I am actually also a full-time artist. I draw and paint people and scenes, and I use like pretty much every medium under the sun except for watercolors, which I know a lot of you guys were mad about last time. I got a lot of DMs. Today I'm going to share with you just some very basic warm-up techniques and 4 tips that can help you get from nothing to kind of ready for art. Why draw from the shoulder when the wrist has so much more control? Well, it's because both your wrist and your elbow are hinge joints, so they only move forwards and backwards, whereas your shoulder is a ball and socket, so it rotates and it has a much larger range of movement, which once you learn how to control it, it can be much more freeing. Your lines will be wider and bolder. So just pretend your elbow and your wrist are locked in place and tied to like a wooden plank or something, and you're going to only move like this throughout all of the exercises that we're going to talk about in this video. So that is tip number 1, always draw with your shoulder. You will get tired less. Oh, you will get a puppy in the background. You will get tired less. You will use a lot more of your core and your back to draw, so you don't injure your wrist and your fingers. And more importantly, you'll get longer fluid lines and your drawings will just look much cleaner. So that's tip number 1. And for the next couple of tips, we're going to jump into the screen recording, and I hope you enjoy.
Wow, I cut my own voice off there. That's crazy. So, tip number 2, drills. No one really likes drills, but these are necessary to get your hands and your arms used to drawing confidently and well. So we're going to start off with some basic lines. You want to draw them in one clear fluid motion. Now I'm left-handed, so I draw towards the left, but you can draw towards the right if you're right-handed. We're not looking for slow lines. We are not looking for broken little tiny lines to make up a big line. No, see that big cross there? No, we want nice, long, clean, fluid lines just with your shoulder, as I mentioned before. So that's step 1. Step 2, we're going to draw a circle. Now, again, we are not looking for very slow circles, and we are definitely not looking for broken circles, because this doesn't really teach you much. It might look slightly cleaner than doing freehand circles, but it just doesn't teach you much in terms of the range of motion. So when you draw a circle with one fluid line, it might not be perfect. It will probably have tails at the end, but it is so important to learn these shapes. Then you can move on to trying triangles and squares and rectangles just to get even more control out of your shoulder. So this is very basic, I know, but we're gonna try and make sure that our shoulder knows what it's doing so that our wrist doesn't have to strain. So for the rest of this exercise, we're gonna draw a bunch of cubes. The reason cubes are so important is because not only do they teach you line and form and control, but they also teach you depth and dimension. So you want to draw cubes that go into the page, come out of the page at different angles. You want to draw cubes that are nothing alike and cubes that are identical. Every kind of cube that has ever existed. And here I've taken 2 cubes and copied them a bunch of times. And here's what we're going to do. Now this drill was inspired by this YouTuber Cynics from Cynics Design, and he is absolutely amazing. So what we're going to do here, I'm just going to group all these layers together, and we are going to try and join the opposing points. Oh, well, that didn't work very well, did it? We're just gonna flatten the layers instead. So yeah, anyway, so this exercise will help you not only free your straight lines, but also make sure they're going in a certain direction. Having a little trouble there, Swish. So make a new layer on top of the cubes just so we can get rid of mistakes if we want to. And for this part of the video, I have kept in every single error. So if you see the little bar on top, you can see I'm constantly hitting that undo key, because no matter how good you get at drawing, these drills will always show you that you're not good enough quite yet. I mean, that may sound discouraging, but trust me, practice makes perfect. We're gonna try and join every diagonally opposite point on every single cube. It seems tedious, but I can promise you it will give you such a good sense of depth and direction and confidence in your lines. Alright, and just to put the point of depth across, if you have a circle, you can draw these kind of curvy lines to indicate depth. Now, obviously, this probably won't be part of any drawing as such, but it's just to make sure you understand that every three-dimensional object has a cross section. And there she is, fixing the cross section. All right, tip number 3, no more iconography. And by this, I mean, when I tell you to draw an eye, you're going to draw something like the one on the left. And if I tell you to make it better, you'll probably draw something like this. But a realistic eye would have much finer detail and much more depth. So you have the pupil, you have little flecks of shadows, of highlights, I mean. You have eyebrows and eyelashes and all that kind of detail, which is what makes the difference between real and not so realistic drawing. Same thing with a human body. You might think it looks like this weird inverted shot glass kind of thing, but actually your spine is like a little wormy guy with arm sockets and hip sockets, which it's all about breaking the body down into basic shapes that will help you not only get the shape and the size, but also the dimension. And my final tip is to think in iterations. What does this mean? It means that no matter how good you are, your very first sketch will not be your final drawing. It may not even look anything like your final drawing. So here you can see I'm kind of adding a little meat to my skeleton that I drew during the last tip. And this is what I mean. Be open and train yourself to understand that not every piece that you draw will look exactly like it did when it started. It won't finish exactly like you had it in your mind, and that's okay. That is one thing I struggled with so much personally. So that's my final tip. Think in iterations. Alright, you guys, so there you go. That was my very basic introduction to art for complete beginners. You don't need any prior skill for this, as you may have been able to tell from the exercises, but I hope this has helped you get into the mindset of drawing, which is kind of what I intended for this first video to do. And I wouldn't be doing myself justice if I didn't let you know that you can support me and all of this stuff by just going and listening to my podcast. It's literally that simple. Just go to patreon.com/solidgoldpodcast, and if you pledge just $1 a month, you can listen to every single episode, the full-length versions. But if you don't want to spend some money, that's completely fine. Every episode comes with like a mini-sode that is completely free to listen to. You don't need to register, you don't need to do anything. You can just download and give it a listen. And I will leave a link down below. So make sure you check that out, and if possible, support my work and this, all of this. So as always, remember to subscribe, because the next art school video will be out next week. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and leave me a comment below. Thank
thank you so much for watching. You know, I love spending some time with you. Thank you for spending your time with me, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.